Recording on my iPad, and last time I had some trouble. It was randomly turning on and off, so we shall see how it goes. What's up? Welcome in to the Fellowship of the Bull. If you're new here, I guess you're all new here because as I'm doing this video, I have yet to post one, so yeah. But anyway, let's enter the opening prayer. Holy Spirit, guardian angels, come and ignite this lighter like you ignite our life with enthusiasm and vitality, and clean out the clutter that tries to prevent us from seeing our highest good and that we are inherently good and lovable. Remove the lies of separation and allow us to see our beauty as you see us. Say amen. Okay, now you go. Clear out that clutter. Pulled some cards and definitely had some messages come through. First one being, you're not wrong. This in context has usually been something I've used in discussion, or I've noticed in discussion, when you don't necessarily agree with somebody, but you can also see that where they're coming from, like their point of view. Like, all of our realities are real to us right in that present moment. And so the response being, you're not wrong, is just an acknowledgement of that. But it's also leaving room, if people want to inquire more into like what I mean by that, or dig a little deeper, then to me it seems like the invite is there. But also you can just let bygones be bygones. That's kind of like where that idiom goes. But that's in regards to other people. But most notably, I have used it as a mantra with myself, because I've noticed these patterns. Recognizing patterns is everything. And that's definitely a key component here. But back to you're not wrong, in a mantra I use with myself, when I've noticed the patterns of catastrophizing and fear coming up, because this is what I mean by everybody's in their own reality, and it is real. Because if all you've ever experienced is shit going wrong, not meeting your expectations, people not supporting you, like that is your reality. And just saying you're in victim mindset is not helpful in the least bit. Like, yeah, that is what's going on, but just labeling it doesn't actually help the situation. That's where you're not wrong comes into mind, because it validates your experience. Like, yes, fear, lack, inadequacy, like just giving credence to them. I spoke about this again in a recent video I did, but a lot of us think that if we give awareness to it, if we give recognition to it, then somehow we commingle with it. It becomes us, that idea and us are one. And that is absolutely not true. You're more than your thoughts and feelings and past situations and future projections and all of that. So you're not wrong. I say this to myself to validate my experience, but again, leave another way open, leave another door open, leave the window open, so you can escape that fucking escape room. Because essentially we're living in a nightmare, or at times when I'm experiencing those catastrophic thoughts and I'm in that spiral, it is a nightmare situation. It's a never-ending story, a never-ending nightmare of feeling inadequate, of feeling helpless, of feeling hopeless. And again, that is because my experience, the environment I grew up in, and the people I had surrounding me reaffirmed that belief. We need a new experience. This is why Tony Robbins has people walk through coals, or had people walk through coals. You need experiential wisdom. You need something to confront the reality you were in. with something more powerful. You can't just, this is why positive affirmations and stuff, I use them, don't get me wrong, but they really don't work for me unless it's backed by experience. You have to actually feel it. It's an embodied thing. It's just, let me say one thing. If you happen to be more prone to the negative side of the spectrum, sadness, depression, anxiety, resentment, disappointment, these types of things, that means you are more self-aware. It means you're able to conceptualize yourself. A lot of people cannot do this. They just project. I personally believe the norm is narcissism. We live in an unhealthy culture where narcissistic tendencies are the norm. I really don't think capitalism has anything to do with it. That's just kind of like the guise it's under. Like, I think people will people, no matter what system it's in. But I really do think we're at a day and age where narcissism is seen as normal and is not readily recognized. Thank God, that is changing. And, this hot topic of narcissism is definitely taking root. Excuse me. Okay. Speaking of, show your butthole right to the fucking screen. Good Lord. Thank you, cutie. Forgot where I was going. Narcissism. I'm going to get off of that soapbox, but you're not wrong. Helps me navigate what my experiential wisdom has taught me and gives me room to breathe, gives me room for something better. That's the main point there, is that you're not wrong, ... but it doesn't have to be this way. I hope that's helpful for somebody out there, because that's definitely been key to me. Like, just ignoring things flat out and being like positive vibes only. Nah, it's just, I'm like toot my own horn, but I'm too smart for that. And people who are harsh on themselves and have a lot of those negative emotions are too smart for just like blatant positive thinking. Unfortunately, people who aren't able to conceptualize themselves tend to have a more positive experience because they can't reflect. I really don't think they have that ability. Maybe I think I'm giving too much leeway. I do think everything is a choice, but we're all on a spectrum. And people who are more disagreeable tend to have more of a positive experience because they can't actually see themselves clearly. And it is a bit delusional. And sometimes we need a little bit of radical delusional optimism. I think that's a Dua Lipa album. And let me tell you what, been digging on a lot of Femi pop artists or Femi lead vocalist. And there's definitely a lot of Dua Lipa on my playlist lately. But back to it. So you're not wrong. Doesn't have to be this way. And also, things aren't as they seem. With that old narrative, that pattern recognition, it's like more of like a background noise, like you don't really notice the aircon, the AC turning off until it does, right? And then you're kind of like, you have that like sigh of relief, like that's been on the whole time. That's the type of resonance I'm talking about with these old patterns playing in the background. It's like you don't recognize them until they're gone. And so things aren't as they seem. That old loop of you're doing it wrong, you're wasting your time, you're not where you're supposed to be, everything's just going to end up going to hell in a handbasket, right? Like that's the type of thoughts that are going on. Putting a kink in it, putting a kink in the chain, sticking. I'm just got the image of Big Daddy where he's teaching his kid to throw sticks in the middle of like the rollerbladers. That's hilarious. So sometimes we do need to throw a stick in the middle of the road with those thoughts, and that stick being awareness, these type of mantras like you're not wrong, and then again experiential embodiment of something better. You have more power than you realize. Like, you can actually create your reality. Like in this very moment, you can practice something else, because it really is just like a mental gymnastics. It's about practice, about muscle memory, and it does have to do with experience. The sweet spot is what I'm getting. Like, once you figure out how to hit a ball or strike a ball well, it becomes muscle. It feels fucking good. Like, before it even hits the back of the net or the other side of the table or whatever, you know that shot was good because of the feeling. Just like, oh, shit. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Fucking bombazos, okay? Golazo type of energy. If you ever scored some worldies, you know what I'm talking about. But first you have to be willing to get messy, to be like Messi, to try something different, to open yourself up to a different experience. And it just takes practice before it all comes together. Every little thing will be all right. That's definitely coming through. Bob Marley song. And again, that's, I guess, just like another mantra. Like, find something that works with you. You know, I hear mantras all the time where I'm like, that shit, that ain't gonna work. That's just not mine, you know? So whether it's a quote from a movie or a lyric from a song, which I freaking love to use, like Kendrick Lamar's Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, it keeps coming up for me, like pushing out all those projections and all those energies and all those thoughts. Like, we can do that. We have the right. It is our birthright to feel good and prosper. And anything that tries to make you feel degraded, downcast, does not belong, y'all. That is a projection. That is not how you were born. I promise you that. So find something that works for you. It might take some time, you know, when it'll just click. Like, listen to the echoes. If you noticed a phrase, a word, a saying, repeat through different arenas in your life, like, you know, a group at the gym, or again, on a song or a movie, and like something that just like kind of pings your awareness, write that down, because that is something you need to pay attention to. That's a message for you, okay? Every little thing will be all right has been one for me lately. And bitch, don't kill my vibe. Definitely more of like a embodied warrior mindset. And a lot of it is like spiritual warfare, right? So you're fighting back those repeated thoughts with prayer. Like, you have that ability to push that shit back. And if you are in a place where you don't feel that way, again, it's practice. You've practiced the opposite so much that it's been your reality. You have the ability to adapt, overcome, and improvise. We were born iterative explorers. That I fucking love that phrase. That's from Adam. I can't believe I'm forgetting his last name. Lordy. The creator guy from that show where they would make stuff, blow stuff up. Oh my God. Please, if you remember, comment down below. This hurts my soul because he's one of my favorite human beings. Oh my God. But he said, Adam, I hate to stereotype him, but he's got ginger hair and glasses and a goatee and he makes really Adam Savage. Wow, that took so long. Adam Savage, please forgive me. Lord have mercy. But he claimed that we are iterative explorers, and I love it so much. And now I'm losing my train of thought. That we have built within us the software, the hardware to overcome anything and everything. Like, we are not stuck. We are not machines. We are not one-dimensional. We are expansive. We are multifaceted, beautiful, divine, and human babies. Okay? All right. So, excuse the puppy barking. This season's lesson the main lesson I'm learning this season is faith. This is that muscle that needs to be practiced. Give me a moment. This is the culprit. He loves barking at the cats. This is Conan, the barbarian, making an appearance. Thank you, buddy. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're gonna chill. Okay? Chill. I'm gonna try to do this. Might need to make it a little short. But this season's lesson definitely tends to be faith. And what I mean by that is 5D. I don't know, I saw my other cat. Working from the 5D to the 3D, which is all about feelings and rewiring that inner narrative. And it's just practice. It's a muscle that needs to be built. Oh my God, there's a lot going on. Okay, you're banished. You're bad boy. You can't help yourself. I'm gonna try it. Faith is a practice. It is what's needed right now, and that means believing is stronger, or making believing stronger than seeing. Making your vision for what you want your life to look at stronger than the 3D reality. You are the creator of your reality, guys. You are a mountain. You cannot be moved. People, places, things, they have to go through you. You are on a mission from God. Okay? I truly believe those ideas, those dreams that excite us, that give us life, are gifts from God to nurture with the vessel, right, into being. And that takes love, that takes attention, that takes specific attention. The lovers, when I'm getting the phrase, the apple of your eye, when it's just a natural thing. When you're attracted to something, it's inherently attractive to you. That's the apple of your eye. You can't help but be mesmerized by it. You can't help but be obsessed by it, because it's an embodiment, it's an experiential embodied thing. And it's different for each of us of what that apple is, right? But I assure you, it is there. That is how we were built. We all have a program within inside of that says, this is who I am, this is my thing. Find your thing, okay? Trust coming through, back to faith. Trust in the unknown. This has got like a really light feather gray, and that color has been speaking to me a lot, I guess in the past week or so. And I usually hate grays. Like, I hate modern architecture. I hate modern buildings just because they're so bland and fucking soulless. But something about light feather gray, because it reminds me of like the different texture or the different color scheme in clouds. Like, clouds have like bright, brilliant ass white, and then also this like light feathered gray. And it's that contrast that kind of gives its voluptuous poofiness, you know. But trust, yeah, if you are feeling in the dark, if you are feeling lost and hopeless and helpless, I've been there, brother, sister, whoever you want to label yourself as. It doesn't have to be that way. You're not wrong. You probably experienced some shit that made you feel like that. But you have what it takes to make a better experience. The bridge in the comic came out. I'm going to end with these two. The bridge in the comic. You have within you the abilities to... This is giving me that bridge in Thor. The Rainbow Bridge. What is it called? Ida... Can't remember the actor's last name, guards it. He's got the yellow eyes. He looks sick. He's got a sword and some badass dreads. If you know, you know. But something about like calling upon, like Thor or whoever is going to the bridge, they like call upon it, right? And that guy, Ida, lets them in. There's something about that dynamic coming through where it's like you're calling to your higher self. It's all about timelines, right? Get back to your throne. Like you can call in that embodied version of your inner badass. I guess is what I'm getting at. Like that you can transmute that right here, right now into your experience. And the comic coming through, paired with that, it's just giving me like method acting type of vibes. Like, one, the comic to me always reminds me of like The Fool, or in old times, like the jester was usually the canary in the coal mine. He was somehow free from poking and prodding at the hierarchy, right? Like usually the context was like if you insulted somebody above you, off with your head, right? But the comic, the jester was free of that. And it's just giving me like a be willing to call shit out. Be willing, be even with yourself. This is definitely coming through with the self. Be willing to poke holes in your own logic, in your own belief system. The Hierophant came through yesterday. I wanted to pull one card, and that's all about like the established beliefs and cultural norms and all of that. But it gave me definitely more of the self vibes. Like you are the creator of your reality. That is what the Hierophant is giving me. You set the beliefs and the systems into place that how you orient and operate on a day-to-day basis. And this is definitely more of an empowering card the way I was reading it, in that you have what it takes to rewrite the system. And that's what the comic is bringing through with that. Be willing to look at your own ish, poke fun at it. There is humor and humility. We are iterative explorers. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to mess up. If you are surrounded by people, places, and things that make you fearful to mess up, that is the wrong environment. That is most of our culture, back to the very beginning, I believe is narcissistic. And that's kind of the way they like to take and keep control, is making people believe that you cannot mess up, you cannot be wrong, you have to be an expert in one fucking thing. No, it's okay. This is how we learn. Failure, messing up is simply how we learn. I'm gonna read the comic and then get off my soapbox here. Thank you. If you have made it this far, I love you. XXVI. I don't know my Roman numerals very well. So XXVI. The comic. Joy. jokes, and smiles are all signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. Yes, guys, spirituality is all about making you feel at home, coming home to yourself and getting that sense of light-hearted energy, on friggin' point, when light, hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing, when dark, sarcastic, harsh, brooding, drunk. Go deeper. Images of laughing Buddha, stand-up, or improv comedy. If y'all got a stand-up comedian or a comedy movie you'd like to recommend, please send it my way. I'm in need of someone funny. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others, and it can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. Yeah. So let me make a distinction real quick. You know, when people make jabs or jests at others, be aware of the intention, because a lot of the times it comes from like a sadistic place, and that's not what I'm talking about here. That's not where I want that energy to go. I'm not poking fun because somehow you feel inferior, and then making fun of others makes you feel superior. Like that, let's not play that ish. That is just some basic ass playground petty BS. We're not going there. There's humor and humility. Be willing to laugh at yourself, but don't let anyone take a piss. If someone's trying to take a piss on you, put them in their place. Okay? The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there's always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness. That's what this bridge is giving me, guys. And trust. Dark. Light. Look at all these colors coming through. Okay? Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this type actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than be swept up away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life. Get messy. Get messy. Using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Lighten up. Lighten up. I've been hearing the term touch grass too. But again, that's more of like a reactionary threatened thing I've heard it. It's like fucking touch grass, man. Like but really, find what works for you. This is my method, might not work for you or anybody else's. Like, you are the creator. You can make up your own method. The goal is to, again, feel at home, feel lighthearted. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. I'd like to end with a pun, but I'm not that witty right now. Or, no, I'm pretty funny. But thank you for being here, my beautiful friends. I wish you the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye.